Hello and welcome back to Sentinels of the Multiverse, the video game. It's time to take things up a notch. Last time we dealt with Ambuscade, a, quite frankly, overconfident hero hunter. And this time, we're dealing with somebody a little bit bigger. Grand Warlord Voss, a tyrant from outer space who has come to take over the planet with his army. There's difficulty ratings at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen for each of these villains. Blade was a 1, Omnitron was a 2, Ambuscade was a 1, and Voss is a 3, which at the time that the core set was released was the most difficult rating you could get. Voss is not easy. He's going to be a bit of a step up from what we've seen so far. And to take out this threat, I'm of course bringing back Legacy. I'm going to be taking Visionary, but I'm going to tweak her a little bit. You might have seen that underneath these cards we have what are called variants. These are cards that were released with later sets. I am going to be using some of them this time around. I'm not going to be using variants that could have story implications for cards that we haven't seen yet in future expansions, because I might play those future expansions someday. But for now, we're going to play as Dark Visionary. A Visionary whose psychic powers have taken over and warped her mind in a way that's made her perhaps a little bit more sinister. The only thing that changes with a variant is potentially the character's HP and their base power. So previously, Visionary could use Enlighten, which meant that you could, one hero, including yourself, could draw 2 cards and discard 1. I didn't mention it at the time, but that discard 1 goes for your entire hand, not for just the cards you drew. This card says reveal the top 2 cards of a deck, any deck, put 1 on top and 1 on bottom. That includes the villain deck and the environment deck, so she's a little bit heavier on control outside of the hero team. People have their own preferences. I happen to prefer Enlightenment Visionary better, but people like this one. She is very powerful. So we're going to do that. We are going to take Tempest, as Tempest is Voss's nemesis. Voss attacked Tempest's planet before he came to Earth, and now Tempest is out for blood. And we are also going to take Tachyon, but we're going to change her variant as well. This is Super Scientific Tachyon. Her power is reveal the bottom 2 cards of a deck, again, any deck. If they share a keyword, put them into play. If not, discard them. Sounds like it could be kind of useless, kind of a gamble, but this can accelerate her own cards a lot, because now you can start discarding bursts from the bottom of her deck. So I quite like Scientific Tachyon. In fact, I like this variant better than the base version. Voss's home turf is, not surprisingly, the Wagner Mars base. This is not my favorite environment. You have to be very careful building a team around this environment. Just know that heroes that like to have a very heavy equipment-based setup don't like this place. Just keep that in mind while you're building your team. And let's get started. Cower before the might of the Therathian conquering fleet. We fight this day for liberty and for justice. Onward. Voss has 90 HP. At the start of the game, Grand Warlord Voss enters play, conquering alien warlords side up. Cards are revealed from the top of the villain deck until 4 minions are revealed and put into play. Shuffle the rest back. At the start of the villain turn, if there are no minions in play, Grand Warlord Voss flips. Just quickly taking a peek at his other side. This is his other side. He does damage on this side where he doesn't on the other side. At the start of the villain turn, if there are 10 or more minions in play, the planet has been overrun by the Therathian army. Game over. He is the other villain that has an alternate win condition. This doesn't happen that often if you're paying attention and you are keeping this under control, but he has cards that can make this more likely, so watch out. Reduce damage to Grand Warlord Voss by 2 for each minion in play. That's a pretty big number, considering that he starts with 4. So he's going to start with 8 DR, which means we basically can't touch him until we get rid of some of the minions. If you remember, you might be thinking to yourself, can't Haka do something about this? Yes, we'll talk about that later. Much later. Let's get started. Genebound Shock Infantry, one of the better cards to see. This card is immune to lightning damage. Each of his minions are immune to a specific type of damage. This is why Twist the Ether might be nice, because you can have characters who deal 1 damage change their type. So for example, Tempest likes to deal a lot of lightning damage, but if you use Twist the Ether on Tempest, you can change it to something that this guy isn't immune to. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 lightning damage. Oh, another one, okay. Genebound Soldier. This card is immune to projectile damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 projectile damage. So far the highest is taking a lot of damage. Genebound Fireswarm. This card is immune to fire damage. You can see by looking. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 fire damage. That was possibly one of the best draws we could have gotten. This card is immune to energy damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 energy damage. So we don't like that so much, but he has a bunch of cards that deal damage to everyone. So getting 0 of those in his initial draw is really good. That does not usually happen. Alright. Let's take some damage. I guess Tachyon can take it. Yeah. Alright. Let's just get started. Let's start taking some stuff out. Now, something to note about Voss is he has 0 ongoing or equipment removal. That's not quite true. He has a card that can destroy ongoings, but there's some conditions to it. But do not worry about getting set up with Voss. Unless something very terrible happens, you will stay set up. Alright. What do we got with Visionary? Right off the bat, we have Twist the Ether. It's tempting to just go for that. In fact, we're going to. Put it on to Tempest, because he's my biggest damage dealer, and he's a crowd controller. As you can see, crowd control is very important here. Also, noteworthy, he has 0 ongoings or equipments. So when building your deck for Voss, you don't need to worry about ongoing or equipment removal. Very, very nice. Alright. 1 on top, 1 on bottom. I'm actually going to do that to Voss. Let's see what you got in there. Alright, well that's a choice. We've got the Genebound Guard. Reduce damage dealt to villain targets by 1. Never nice to see that. But this guy is, first of all, immune to psychic damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each target 2 psychic damage. You know what? I think I'd rather have the guard. Ooh. Oh, this is nice. That's a very nice opening hand for Tempest. Alright, here we go. And now, you don't just want to let it say choose for me, because if I get rid of all the minions and then hit Voss, then the damage will go through. So, once again, just because I'm used to it, I'm going to do infernal damage for all this. Yeah, if you have this game and you're wondering how to get the achievement that wants you to do 100 of each type, Twist the Ether. That's all you need. Also, as far as I know, certainly in this deck, I don't think anything is immune to infernal damage, so that's always nice. In fact, in Voss's deck, there's nothing that's immune to infernal damage or radiant damage. So, if you're ever wondering, that's always a good type to change it to. We just did 5 instead of 4 damage there. That's because Voss and Tempest are nemeses. Ooh. This isn't necessarily a good starting card, but it's good to have it in your hand before something can discard it, or before something can play it by accident. I don't want to play Research Grant. You know what? Well, I could Hypersonic Assault, but I'd rather save it for later, to be honest. I'm just gonna skip my play phase. It's a weird opening hand for Tachyon. Alright. Revealing the bottom 2 cards of Tachyon's deck. They are both bursts. We can put them both into play. So let's do a little bit of damage to Voss, because we can. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh my goodness. Alright. Now, we have a game going for Tachyon. Let's see what the Mars base will do. Oxygen leak. Reduce all fire damage by 3. At the end of the environment turn, one player may discard one card to destroy this card. At the start of the environment turn, deal each target X toxic damage, where X equals the number of cards in the environment trash, which is currently 0. We don't deal fire damage, and he does. So I'm going to let this card stay for a little bit. So he's flipped over. At the start of the villain turn, if there are 2 or more minions in play, flip him back. Reduce damage by 1 for each minion, which is notable. He has less DR now. At the end of the villain turn, Grand Warlord Voss deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 energy damage, and the hero target with the lowest HP 2 fire damage, which we will not take because of an oxygen leak. The Mars base is interesting. It can really screw you over, but it can also be very beneficial. Alright, let's draw some cards. Ahaha, we have our combo with Legacy. Good card draw for Visionary this game. HUD Goggles perfect. We don't have a ton of damage on the board yet, but we're getting very well set up. Ooh, that's nice. Alright, so we're going to play Precognition, which, just to remind you, you take the top 3 cards of his deck and basically put them back in whatever order you want. What do you got under there? Haha! We got First Lieutenant Victor and Field Lieutenant Tamar, which, fun fact, I'm 100% sure of this for Tamar. I think it's also true with Victor. These are relatives of the developers. Increase damage dealt to hero targets by 1. Obviously, we don't want that. Reduce damage dealt to Thorathians and minions by 1. Obviously, we don't want that either. So we're just going to put this guy on top. Immune to toxic damage. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the lowest HP 2 toxic damage. Manageable. Get the lieutenants out of here! That was fun. That was a fun turn. Let's see. We already know what he's going to play next, and I'm not that fussed about it. So why don't we take a look at the environment deck? Oh, that was good. All right. Self-destruct sequence. Lot of text that basically means you put cards underneath it. You can put a card underneath if you skip your turn, and you take a card out every time we get to the environment turn. If there's no cards under the sequence, game over, you lose. So why don't we just do anything else? Pervasive red dust. At the end of the environment turn, destroy 4 equipment cards. This is why you do not want to rely on equipment. At the start of the environment turn, if each player discards 1 card, destroy this card. When this card is destroyed, each player may put 1 equipment card from their trash into play. Alright, so we're going to put that on top. Brain Burn can be very nice for him, and you'll see why later. I think we just... I'm trying... Oh, we already have that out. There's no reason to do that. I could play a Chain Lightning. The only problem is that's a 3 target card, and there's only 2 targets, but I guess we might as well. Get rid of that guy. Hit Voss. Remember, we are also doing additional damage to him because of the Nemesis bonus. And I guess we'll just stop. Alright. I'm not entirely sure what infernal damage means, but whatever. It's damage. It hurts. First of all, HUD Goggles. I'm going to play Pushing the Limits. I don't know if I'm going to keep it out or not, but I am going to play it. I'm going to play Sucker Punch. It's not going to do anything, but it will go into the trash, which is all I really wanted. And let's see. Alright, so these are both one-shots. We get to play both of them. Start off with this, do a little damage, draw a card. Very nice. That's an ongoing and environment removal. Little bit of a warning here, we're about to do sonic damage. I always find the sonic damage is very, very high-pitched and hurts my ears a little bit, so just be warned that it's coming. Sonic damage, there we go. That was a pretty productive turn. We're doing very well. Things can get crazy against Voss. And in fact, I'm sure they will soon. And we're gonna just take zero damage. And in fact, I think we're just gonna keep that out. Professor, how do we get rid of this again? Yeah, we discard. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm actually just gonna use a Flash Flood next with Tempest. Oh, HUD goggles. It's fine. When that gets destroyed, we can put HUD goggles back. I would rather not discard the cards, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, Tempest. Alright, I think we're gonna play Takedown. Voss has some scary cards in there. I could start setting up, though. Yeah, Takedown is never not going to be useful, so I'm just gonna start setting up. Alright. What you got? Aha. This is the card you gotta watch out for. Forced Deployment. It's an ongoing. When this card is destroyed, take all of the minion cards from the villain trash and put them into play. At the start of the villain turn, destroy this card. I guess I was wrong when I said he has no ongoings. He doesn't have ongoings that really function in the same way as a lot of other ongoings. When this card is destroyed, you take all of the minions out of his trash, and they all come out at the same time. You can destroy this early, so that the minions come out immediately, and you get to beat on them a little bit before it gets to his turn. This card is very scary. You gotta watch out for it. You gotta manage this. If you can control his deck, like I'm doing with Visionary, that's good. Just watch out for this one. This is his most powerful card, and I'm very glad we got it out. So we're gonna put this guy on top, which we already know just deals damage to the highest. I'm gonna put this on the bottom. That was a very good turn. Let's take a look at the Mars base again. Villainous Weaponry. Increase damage dealt by villain targets by 1. Not great. Fire in the Biosphere. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals each target 2 fire damage. Each hero must either destroy one of their ongoing cards or take 2 more fire damage. At the start of the environment turn, one player may discard 2 cards to destroy this card. However, we are currently immune to fire damage because of Oxygen Leak. So I'm going to put that on top, and I'm just going to let it stay there, honestly. The Pervasive Red Dust isn't bothering me that much right now. It means I can't play another copy of HUD Goggles, but that's not the worst thing in the world. It also means I can't play this. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to Flash Flood that. Well, I don't want to Flash Flood it. I would want to use yeah, I'll get rid of it just so I can get a burst out of Tachyon's hand. Alright, so let's play the Shackles. We know that does extra damage to the highest villain target. Get rid of the minion first. And then let's hit Voss. Alright, not bad, not bad. Do I want to take that damage? How much HP do I have? How many cards would I even want to play this turn? Yeah, I'm going to take the damage once. I don't think I'm going to take it again. Alright, so let's get rid of Pervasive Red Dust. HUD Goggles goes into play, which means I can do that. And oh shoot, I forgot that HUD Goggles is going to come back in. I am actually going to play Research Grant on the off chance that he ever gets the chance to destroy hero ongoings. I'm just going to leave that out there as fodder. Oops. Alright. Ooh. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Alright, well this is not a May. We have to destroy an ongoing or environment card. So bye-bye Oxygen Leak. That's, like I said, unfortunate. Oh well, sometimes plans go awry. What other bursts do I have in here? Let's get rid of that. Oh well. So there's another one. Alright, fire in the biosphere. Let's see. Well, first of all, we're all going to take that fire damage. I don't think I have anybody who wants to destroy anything. Yeah, we really don't want to destroy anything. I'm just gonna take the rest of the damage, I think. That's a little unfortunate. Man, I missed my oxygen leak! Alright. We're actually doing quite well, though. So now, Legacy set up, Galvanize, Motivational Charge, bye-bye, Fire Minion. Alright, Prophetic Vision. What do we got? Ooh, I like this card. Meteor Storm. All targets are immune to damage. At the start of their turn, a player may skip the rest of their turn to destroy this card. This can be very useful. We don't need it right now, but if this comes out at the right time, this can save you from a very bad situation. Maintenance level. At the end of the environment turn, play the next environment card. So already this is off the table. We don't want this. At the start of the environment turn, if each player shuffles their trash into their hero deck, destroy this card. Bad! Tachyon doesn't want to do that. When this card is destroyed, if self-destruct sequence is in play, put this card on top of the countdown pile. That goes on the bottom. Pervasive Red Dust. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to play that one. We got rid of maintenance level, which is nice. Meteor Storm is just not gonna be of any benefit to us right now. Alright, Voss, what do you got? Ooh, the TCF Stalwart. This card is immune to melee damage. At the start of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 3 energy damage. At the end of the villain turn, shuffle the villain trash and reveal cards until a minion is revealed. Put it into play. Not great, but we don't have to deal with it. Alright, ongoing removal, just in case we end up with a forced deployment that we have to get rid of. Let's see, yeah, I think it's time for Localized Hurricane. Remember, this ups the damage to you, so you have to be careful, but it is a more powerful card than any of his AoE cards. Boom. And you also get to draw cards from it. I don't want to keep that out anymore. It served its purpose well. Let's get rid of fire in the biosphere. Excuse me. Let's play that. It's a burst. It deals 1 damage. The main point is their bursts in the trash. We have 11 bursts in the trash right now, which means that with 2 of those, we can do 22 damage plus whatever Legacy's gonna let us do. So let's keep that in mind. Tachyon is a finisher. If we get him down to 20 or so health, then Tachyon just kills him. And it gets even better the more bursts she gets in the trash. Alright, very nice. Let's all draw some... Oh, perfect. Inspiring Presence. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright. Put a card in play. I don't really want to do any... I mean, this is the card that makes it so people can't deal damage. There's definitely better situations to use that in, but we have 2. We might as well just do it. We're getting it for free. And that's the one that redirects damage. Alright, that's another burst. And now we know we're going to get the red dust, which means, unfortunately, that Legacy's Ring is going to go away. Well, a bunch of stuff is going to go away, but we are going to get it back. How do we destroy this again? If one player discards 1 card, that's no problem. Tachyon can destroy a card. Inspiring Presence. We just need to hang on for a little bit longer, and we've got him pretty well on lock. I'm realizing that my team that I built might actually be too good. But don't worry, this is not the last time we're going to be seeing Voss. We'll see him be scary at some point, I promise. a whole ton to do. Alright. Let's see what Voss has. Aha. This is a portal that says the first time a minion enters play each turn, play the top card of the villain deck. So that can get kind of hairy. This is one of those minions that deals damage to everyone, and it's immune to cold damage. But I'd rather have this than the portal. Do we Flash Flood? I don't think we need to Flash Flood. I think we'll be okay. I think we're just gonna deal some damage. In fact, it might be time for Lightspeed Barrages. In fact, it is time for Lightspeed Barrages. Nope, 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 not that. Alright, it's time for Tachyon to do what she excels at, which is all of a sudden speeding up and just destroying something. We're going to start by playing a Lightning Reflexes. You may play up to 2 cards now. Lightspeed Barrage number 1, just to remind you. Tachyon deals 1 target X melee damage, where X equals the number of burst cards in your trash. We currently have 12. So 1, 14 damage. 2, 14 damage. And he's gone. That's not supposed to be that easy. I think Dark Visionary was overkill there. But like I said, these guys will all be coming back for a second round, and it's gonna get even more difficult. So there's just a little taste of what Voss can, or in this case, can't do. We got lucky. He had a very, very weak opening board, and he never really got going before we could get him shut down. But the threat of Voss has been eliminated for now. He's gonna go off and sulk. Again, a very important character to the story if you're interested. But for now, Earth can rest easy knowing that the Therathian fleet is not going to come and take over the planet. Thank you for watching! Tune in next time if you want to see us take on the biggest and baddest villain of the core set. Hopefully I'll see you then. Bye bye!